Scorpios, we really are forming stronger, more elevated, more powerful connections. And it seems like everybody wants a piece of the Scorpio pie this Aries season. So just have discernment on who you wish to serve that pie to. The very first thing that I saw, and I think I saw this even during the Pisces season Tarotscope, it was like two lovers and this passion and this intimacy. I'm like, okay. And I mean, that makes sense. Mars is still in Pisces, I believe. It'll move into Aries. No, Mars is in Aquarius right now, but it'll move into Pisces near the end of Aries season. So it's like Mars in Aquarius makes that square to our Scorpio placements, making us feel a little bit frisky. And then when Mars moves into Pisces near the end of Aries season this year, it's going to make that trine to our Scorpio placements. So yeah, it's like that primal cardinal fire energy that Aries season brings is quite evident. I also think that it's just like us honoring that Scorpio energy, that passion, that intimacy is going to be attracting a lot of people that are like, oh, like I said, they want a piece of the pie. They want some of them goodies. Do you want to engage in these energies or not? Because another really beautiful channeled message that was coming through, it's like these wings were growing from the tips of our crown chakra. It's like we don't want to just be seeking short-term satisfaction. We're in it for the long game. We want to connect, even if it's with a lover or pursuing a relationship that is calling us higher, that is going to elevate us, because we know that we're going to elevate the relationships that we're with. And of course, there's some power and some energy that you can use when you know that certain people are interested in you in that way. And Scorpios can be very strategic to use that energy that they see fit and not just give in to those passionate wiles, but to take a step back and just see how people are interacting. Part of me also thinks that there might be temptation to engage in an affair or kind of like throw caution out the window, or like either engage in someone that's in a relationship or married, or you're in a relationship and married and you're like, oh, well, this seems really fun for now. And that's sometimes that Aries energy can be self-serving or selfish. Not all the time, but in its shadow aspects. And both Scorpio and Aries are ruled by Mars, right? So that's why I was curious where Mars currently is, to really note how we can use this energy to our advantage, okay? Making sure that we're making the right decisions. Another energy that was coming through was like abdominal work and stretching. There was energy of like just really going back and extending out your arms. But then, you know, when you're laying flat and you have a Bosu ball in between your legs and you reach up, grab the Bosu ball, come back down, it's like where you feel like your abs are on fire, but it feels really good. So if some of you are wanting to engage in that kind of intensity and really maybe just like toning up and getting everything nice and tight and ready for spring and summer, that seems to be a very prevalent energy. And even just stretching as well, like moving your body and shifting that energy around. Yoga, or just taking a few moments in the morning or at night or both, just to move your body in that way, seems very beneficial, okay? Fantastic. So the first three cards that I pulled, we have the Strength card with the King of Swords and the Hermit. So these are all fabulous cards. And that's what I was thinking too. It's like, yeah, we're going to be in a position of power right now, Scorpio, where it does seem like, even if it's not in a sexual forward way, it's like people want to be around our magnetic energy and we are being called higher. It also could be maybe a Leo in a position of power, or just someone that is very influential, or this kind of benevolent solar energy that we want to be around, or that we're exuding as well right now, to really attract powerful, benevolent connection, especially with business or really challenging our mind. It's like we want to be having these really forward thinking, aligned, influential conversations with people that kind of see things how we're seeing it, or have unlimited potential, or can really spark that in us. And that can also just be channeling into our solar plexus right now, and maybe not leaning into the root and sacral, but just that power and leaning into that growth and that evolution is only going to attract more passionate, intense, powerful relationships to come into our auric field. It could also be a nice Virgo energy, or this message that we're wanting to work through on an internal level what needs to be done. So it's like everything in our external plane, in the physical realm, is going really well. We're going to be expanding, reaching new heights, but we don't want to forget about our spiritual practices. And that could also be that energy of like stretching, slowing down, moving our body. And that's the reason that that came through, is like, yes, we are really getting up there. Also, like, look at this giant big old sword. It's like, yeah, I do think that we're going to just be around people that like spark that curiosity or that intensity, or like new thoughts just keep coming through as well, where it's like, again, Scorpio, fixed water. Sometimes we can really have the blinders on and just be pursuing one person or one thing so vehemently, but it's like, no, there's other people that can expand our mind or can even challenge us to go higher, which will then elicit that inward reflection of, oh, I've never really thought about this, or do I feel like I'm ready? Do I have the strength and the confidence to meet these people at that level? It's kind of like we're comfortable and we know where we stand in this current pond, so to speak, or this field or this level, but we are being called higher. And by doing that internal work, new paradigms, new beliefs, that transition will be made quite easy. And I do think, again, as I said prior, don't negate or forget about your spiritual practice, but that also could mean that we're wanting to call in a mentor or a healer to work with on a one-on-one basis. So as we're transitioning, as we're letting go of old levers or old situations or old beliefs that are no longer serving us, we are having someone hold us accountable. Or that another manifestation I always hold with the Hermit is, all we need to see is one step at a time. And so just trusting in that work, trusting in these synchronicities and these messengers and these opportunities, that's all we need to know, and not getting caught up in the ego or the status or the rewards that can sometimes be with the King of Swords of like, okay, we really need to climb that ladder. We need to get more powerful, more influential. It's like, nope. We know that these people are in our purview. We know we're attracting these situations, but all we need to do is just take it one step at a time and honor that glow and that radiance. RuPaul, one of my favorite Scorpios, Sun and Moon, and I'm pretty sure Mercury as well, he always says, what are you bringing to the party? So if you're invited to party, a function, a company, an interview, what do you bring that's special? Why would people of influence and power want to have a conversation with you? If you think of your favorite celebrity, politician, person of power, why would they drop everything and have an hour conversation with you? And I think that's what you want to maybe ask yourself this Aries season is, what talent, what level of intellect am I bringing forward that makes me magnetic, that makes me someone to watch? And that again is only going to increase that allure and options of lovers and partners and opportunities that we get to pursue. Okay, so it is really channeling that Martian energy, channeling that independence, channeling that fire that Aries season always brings, and channeling into an area of expertise or to a level of healing that is going to elevate you moving forward, Scorpios, okay? So let's see 2 to 3 more cards for Scorpio, please. 2 to 3 more cards for Scorpio, please. I keep seeing a cat just kind of like having its tail around our ankle. So for me, cats are very like protective, guardian type energies, very intuitive. If you are very spiritual or even witchy, having that cat as a familiar, or even just like maybe seeing kind of like a ginger kitty or like a black cat of being like, oh, that's a good omen, or that's maybe a lover, that'll be a good sign. Or if you're like thinking a thought and you see a cat cross your path, be aware of that thought and being like, okay, that's just an extra nudge or a wink from the universe that that thought or that energy is appropriate and aligned at this time. Or if you've been thinking of getting a cat, maybe this is a nice little synchronicity there too, or connecting with your cat. Or if you go over to a friend's house being like, I just need to be present with this and see what energy is coming through when I'm around this feline feminine energy. Oh, just like ding. That's also very linked in with Leo energy as well. So I think maybe there's like a Leo in the midst, or if you personally have Leo placements, it's like, yeah, we want to honor that ferocity, that joy, that generosity that Leo energy often represents, right? Yes, good. And I just keep seeing like this heart like beating and growing bigger and bigger and bigger. So it's like leading with our heart. I think that is also, it's like not with our ego or with our root chakra or anything. It's like we're just following our heart and knowing that we're attracting more energy, opportunity, and relationships that are just going to make that heart and our joy and our happiness grow bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's also something too, like if something goes against and you feel like your gut is contracting, you feel like you're not, like your heart isn't on fire, there's that emoji. It's one of my favorites where the heart is literally ablaze. It's like that passion where you know it's like, like yes, like that is what I want. Like that, you know, you have like a garment that just like brings you so much happiness. Like I feel like $1,000,000 when I wear that, or I'm like so happy when I'm with this person, or I go into this job and I'm so alive. That is what we want to pursue. That and nothing less, okay? And if we're not feeling that right now, I think that's where we need to go inward a little bit, Scorpios, to be like, why am I not in these environments where I'm consistently inspired or inspiring or just happy? Because that is what we want to get to. And of course, we're approaching eclipse season when we move into Taurus season, which is going to be very activating for us. So now is the time to make sure that we're in these appropriate fields of energy that are supporting and loving so that we can move through that eclipse season easier. Yes. Good. Okay. Boom, boom. What I say, I'm like, eclipse season is going to be very intense. What do we say? Leos, that's solar energy. The sun, the 10 of swords, and the 7 of pentacles. So it's almost like we're getting everything that we've ever wanted, but we're going to have to let go of some people, some thoughts, some energies that are no longer serving us, which may seem painful at first. And having that patience that everything that we've been cultivating, Scorpios, is leading to this benevolence, this harvest that we get to enjoy. But don't be surprised if you're constantly cycling through the energy of the sun and the 10 of swords, where it's like, oh, it just feels like it's like up, down, up, down, up, down. And I think that's the energy too, is that people can tell that we're spiritually and energetically leveling up, and they want to be around our energy, of course, but not everyone's going to be aligned. And some people might come in for a month or a season or whatever that may be, and you're just consistently upcycling. So that's something to be aware of as well, that again, with Scorpio, fixed water of really having that loyalty and that connection. I don't think that everyone's meant to come in here. It's like we're meant to interact with a lover or a healer or a situation, and then it's going to be like boom, boom, boom. This energy also kind of came up with Taurus, where it's like we're consistently going through like death and rebirth, going up, 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 which makes sense with all the eclipses. So don't be surprised if you're in one position right now and after eclipse season, you're somewhere completely different. It's like, don't forget your roots. Don't forget what you've planted 6 months ago, a year, your soul contract. That's going to keep you grounded amongst everything else. It's like, don't forget what you stand for. And that's going to allow all of this transition to not phase you as much, because you know what crops you planted, you know what's there, you know what's reliable, and then everything else you can just judge with that open mind and lead with your heart to allow extra energy that is going to serve us to land just right. Okay? Boom. So that is my general reading for you all for this Aries season. If this reading resonated and you want to say thank you, all contributions to support this content creation are always appreciated. You can find the link to our PayPal in our bio. Currently, our books are full, but we will be opening them again in April. So stay tuned for that announcement if you'd like to book in for a one-on-one reading. And please feel free to share or tag a fellow Scorpio that could benefit from this message, okay? Thank you, Scorpios, for watching. Have a sexy and magnetic Aries season, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.